spectacular. You are big fans of Surprise Surprise Bifrost, because this is your chance to make sure playoffs are secured.
Yeah, and I think it would be, honestly, a big disappointment if Bifrost did not lock in the playoffs. The Masters quarterfinalists, especially coming into summer, we said that jungle support duo that changed out was an upgrade in our eyes, and even though that has been the case, I feel like a lot of other teams have stepped up. Chimera!
Oh, Chimera immediately caught out by an E-star on Fury. Abscond and Abduct gets a big HP trade, but they can't quite get anything more. They'll get the ward down early, though, and nice to see some more aggressive and coordinated early plays from Bifrost. This time that work out, because some of the other ones have been a little off, shall we say.
All right, so when it comes to Bifrost, I think we heard Highway also mention it on an interview. He was like, we've tried so many different styles since the addition of himself, of course, and Diamondprox. You're trying to reinvent the style that the team wants to play, right? You keep the core members, which is your two carries mid-top, and of course your marksman. But you have changed the two very important moving gears in the early game, which is the support and jungle, and the synergy in between them, how they want to play the game, how do they see the map, how they move around. And Bifrost have tried so many different playstyles where they've tried to play for Shikari, they've tried to play for Fury, they've tried to play for Audi, they've tried to play for early, they've tried to play for late game, they've tried to play for ganks.
Sure, this list goes on.
The list goes on. Literally anything that there is there, Bifrost has tried. The only thing that seems to consistently work is playing for Audi. Audi is probably one of the best marksmen that we have in the NLC. Things like his Aphelios, his Senna are so fit.
Lister, yeah, absolutely. This guy has been a real star, even though Bifrost has been a touch inconsistent. Fury, though, honestly, was a bit of the star on the Monday as he just about gets out of range of that charm, where he and Diamond absolutely put M&S in the dumpster as bot side Highway, maybe looking to try and do something similar with Shredder and Michigan, but just be a trade for now. Nice little engage, though, nonetheless, from the Tom Kench. But honestly, you know, shout out to Fury as well, a player who has been a little inconsistent with those performances and made it work there. He's back on that Silas he felt so comfortable with. Does miss out there on that Abscond Abduct, though, but we like to see the kind of playmaking there, and we'll be able to heal up via that level up, as well as Diamond now at level 3, looking to maybe find an angle here.
Wait, Diamondprox level 3 ganking mid? I've never seen this before.
No, he's got an angle then. It's not going to be spotted. Force a flash early from Camera. It's going to go straight down mid-jungle from Bifrost, 2 weeks in a row, securing first blood.
Honestly, I'm going to start getting post-its out that will say shame on them. Everyone who dies level 3 to Diamondprox mid will get a post-it on their forehead from me.
Want it? So, you knew where he was.
So Chimera has a post-it right now from me on his forehead that says shame. Obviously, I'm kidding. Diamondprox is one of probably, if not the most proactive jungler at that level 3 mark. If you ask anyone in this league, they'll tell you, if I'm playing mid, I'm most likely going to get ganked by Diamondprox, either level 2, 3, or 4. Hell, he even took Belveth into a level 3 shenanigan mid lane and got a flash on the champion as well. So, yeah, pretty good stuff again. The mid-jungle duo was what snowballed their game versus JDXL as well. It was Fury on that Silas that got that very early Everfrost and then snowballed his team to victory. This time it is, of course, Diamondprox cashing in on the kill. But then again, you see that the fact that Chimera does not have his flash, does not have his teleport, he's 2 levels away from that Spirit Rush to actually get away from the Wukong if he chooses to gank again. And as you can see, the wave is slow pushing towards Fury. Diamondprox is mid again.
He is. I wonder whether we've got time to talk about this mid lane match a bit more. We will have to wait just for now as Diamond is looking for a wraparound, looking to continue punishing best he can. Has got the angle in, not spotted yet. Camera warding away. The Abscond Abduct misses. Remember, Camera, no flash. It'll just be a chunk, and Diamond will walk back to try and potentially clear up some more of his jungle on the second clear. And honestly, had the time, right? Like, the camps were down. This was the opportunity. Does get charmed up as he was clearing out that ward, but gets rid of it, and pretty happy with that, all things said and done.
Honestly, really good stuff by Diamondprox right there. He saw that Chimera had just come back. No flash, no teleport, as we mentioned, and there was a gigantic wave that Chimera needed to crash over on the Silas. Of course, when you're playing the Ari into the Silas matchup pre-6, you do have the luxury of playing ranged into Silas, poking him out.
Michigan, they've got a Binding Eclipse to follow up. That'll force a cleanse and a flash out of the Jinx. Bifrost bot lane is a thing to be feared. I'm playing very well with this duo right now.
And Howie consistently has been trying to find these abyssal dives to try and pull off potentially maybe a summoner. This time it was very close to a kill. Michigan loses both his summoners. This level 6 could be a potential target for Diamondprox to set his sights on.
Completely agree, especially considering top side is a Sejuani. You don't necessarily want to play too much towards it. Don't get me wrong, you've got setup, you'll take if it's free.
I mean,
but
even Caleb knows at this point he's not going to be killing any Sejuani anytime soon.
Right.
He's going for the call.
He's like, you know what? I'm going to maybe play towards my carries. You know, this Silas and this maybe this flashless Jinx, which looks nice and juicy. We could get our Felios kills. That sounds great. The jungler in me is rubbing my hands at that one. And we'll take this opportunity while we are hovering over Fury and Camera as well to talk about this matchup a little bit more in depth, because Fury has been very important to Bifrost and Eviction. Same with Camera, but when they've been losing, the stats have been seriously lackluster for both these players, all things said and done.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like for Chimera, unless he's something like he's Lissandra, he's Swain, to me he's lacking a little bit on the impact. And it's the same thing for Fury. We did really see Fury pop off literally 2 seasons ago when the Akali meta was out, when the Sylas, LeBlanc were out. Now that the durability patch came through and it sort of hindered a little bit the ability of these assassinations, these solo kills, Fury has resorted back to playing a lot of the mages, even in the previous season as well. And now we slowly but surely see him fit yet again into that slot of the assassins. I'll play in your face with the Sylases, with the Akalis.
And part of it as well has been just what this player has been asked to do for the team, right? Especially when you have had botlines like Odie and Duel from Spring. Now Odie and Highway, who've been very consistent for this team, at least in lane and stuff early on as well in those victories. It's nice to see Fury back on some of those more proactive plays and doing the best with it. Nice and even in a difficult range matchup to begin with. He's doing really well here.
You know what I say? When there's a lane that is too consistent, you always need the int in your team. And not necessarily because somebody's going to go and die and int, it's because if you're playing assassins, it's high risk, high reward.
Bit of volatility.
So technically, players who play assassins are soft inters, but in a good way. Do you get it? So
I see your point. I'm worried about what you're encouraging in the NLC fans watching.
So
if you get banned because of this play style, blame Trouble, not the broadcast, okay? We like, her views are not our own. There's some like legal disclaimer I'm sure I've got to give out at this point. Riot terms of service, please adhere to it.
You have to sign somewhere.
Oh dear,
But of course, it is really funny because playing a bunch of assassins and melee champions in the mid lane in this meta, you are susceptible to a lot of the ganks, but also it's very high risk, high reward. You do manage to get the kill like Fury and Diamondprox did versus JDXL. That Silas will snowball, and then the liability.
Oh, Shredder is going to have to force the flash his time. Of course, Michigan's still got no flash. He's doing what he can. He's got nowhere to go. That Severum Crescendo goes down. A double for Odie and Highway. Their way or the highway. And you can see which way that one worked out. Fury now hopping forwards onto camera. Gets a bit of a chunk as Shikari and Diamond trade out in the top side jungle, just winning on every side of the map right now. Herald spawns to boot.
That bot lane 2 versus 2, it was all cleanse, flash, diff. The fact that Highway and Odie took the 2 versus 2 and Misigu lost both his summoners meant that Highway's Ignite was still burning on Misigu. Odie also had the right guns, but MNM feel themselves towards the top side of the map. They want to go and contest for the Herald. Caleb does have ultimate. Chimera has ultimate. Renata incoming on level 5 whilst Highway is level 6.
Too late. Too little. Highway gets that one. His third kill involvement. Fury with more of the Spirit Rush to go. Trying to get onto Soft. He's now trying to get out. He will get a lilting lullaby. Potentially a Shredder respawns. He needs to try and survive though. Gets stunned up. About to go down. One more auto will do it. Diamond Procs puts Bifrost 6th kill on the board.
Yep, 3 out of 6 so far on the board for Diamondprox. Everywhere he's been, he has literally taken the kill for himself and he's snowballing the early game for his team. As you can see, again, we've mentioned how a lot of the times Chimera does not make the right decisions. That was one of them right there. Gets caught by the Sejuani ultimate and absolutely destroyed. Then Soft tries to flash away, but Fury still in the way. The Spirit Rush from the Ahri is able to follow through. Yet another kill going for the mid jungle duo. And again, we've seen a lot of these teams going for the Herald plays, and it's usually one of the 2 supports that has leached XP off of another lane and has gotten into this Herald fight level 6. Highway was level 6, Shredder was level 5. These Renata ultimates, especially in choke points like these, are so important to have.
And let's call it out as well. Big move in the fact that Soft was a little late on the recalls and was not there to contest the Herald in time. Didn't have the lilting lullaby either. They must have used it elsewhere on the map. So I think MNM unfortunately just had to give that one up, and it really burns them now. They're losing pretty much most lanes. 2 assists now on Shikari as well, who was having a quiet time of it. And we've talked about the mid jungle. We've talked about the bot lane. Bifrost looking much better over these last 2 games.
And I think that's been the story for Bifrost as well. Usually Shikari is Mr. Consistent towards the side of the map, as Diamondprox is going to contest away the big chicken. from Sof. I think Sof
Smited that one secure, yes.
Shikari has been Mr. Consistent the entire season. Whatever champion you put him on, he's going to be a rock towards the top side of the map, and he's going to perform. Diamond Prox, he's your early game ganker. Talking about early game, we're only 10 minutes in. Fury, Diamond Prox towards the bot side. It's a 4-man dive.
The action doesn't stop. Bifrost want playoffs. They want it now. A stolen hostile takeover means this turret ain't no skyscraper in Manhattan. Bought out by Bifrost in moments. They'll summon a Herald's Way, and it's Demolition Crew making way for more gold in Bifrost pockets.
I think Bifrost right here knew that their fastest game was versus Singularity. I think they split 21 minutes something. They're trying to make this even faster. 2-0-2 for the hyper carry down the bot lane, the likes of Odi. 5 tower platings. First tower, they've gotten the Herald, they've gotten the Dragon. They're going to swap now their AD carry towards the top side of the map, take possibly even more tower platings to their name. That Aphelios already has Kraken Slayer. Sandra for Diamond Prox. Bifrost are literally choking MNM with macro.
They really are. I'm looking at Sof here, but he doesn't feel like he's got an opportunity to go in. And that means I've got an opportunity instead to bring up a wonderful little bit of a new hashtag. Hashtag NLC memes. You know it's true. Why do we only have 2 spots at E-Masters? Behind them, Riot stares aggressively. It's not bad.
That hurts, man.
Go find the meme format from the Twitter. Go give us your best versions. We'll pick and select a few to throw them out.
And Riot Games, and please ask them. Well, we also have 2 seeds, whilst Caleb wonders what he has.
He's got a Hextech ultimatum, but he gets devoured, and it's a delicious 3-course meal. Or maybe just 1 this time around. A snack for Shikari to get his first kill on the board in Diamond. Out of 5 Mishigu! That's a 5-0. Wukong just forcing Mishigu to flash Diamond. Not the best warrior trickster ever, but still has.
There's no tower.
Yeah, he's just waiting to see is there anywhere to go. Mishigu's like, I must find my way, wait for warrior tricks. There's an infrastructure, there's nowhere to go. He's just gone.
You know what?
Goodbye, sweet Jinx. We knew thee well.
Remind me of the John Travolta meme where he's like looking around very confused.
Yeah.
Mishigu was like, where's my tower? Where's my teammates?
Oh.
Where do I go? Where's Monka?
I've got a new one of those hashtag NLC memes. It's just like Mishigu trying to farm in bot side behind him. Here's the Wukong, and now it's 6-0. Good grief, this is a bit of a statement game from Bifrost, who are looking to make this late season surge towards playoffs. Again, they were our EU Masters representatives, number 2. Had a bit of an awkward summer split towards the middle portions, but can still make their way up the standings somewhat here. And this is a great way to start and do it.
Absolutely. 7,000 goal difference at 12 minutes in 6-0-0 for Diamond Prox, the legend himself. He has absolutely taken control of the entirety of the map. He's level 3 gank Chimera in the mid lane, gotten himself a kill. He came back to try and punish. He went towards the bot side of the map, gave Odi and Highway the priority to push. Highway then gets summoners down bot lane, and then they 2v2. The entirety of Bifrost has been on point.
Oh, Camera takes so much damage, has to ult away from the Moonlight Vigil. That might well have spelled death for Shikari around the corner. Another plate falls. The top lane turret's gone as well. That is 12 plates already with 30 seconds to go. A huge amount of gold purely from structure demolition.
And I don't know how in the world you allow a Silas to take top lane plates versus a Camille. MNM seem to be falling apart right here, because even though they do have vision towards the top side of the map, they play too scared around the towers. There's not enough coordination. I feel like ever since they pushed Sof outside of his jungle, we haven't necessarily seen these team fights that we see in the early game from MNM and that creativity from their engages, although Highway might be a little bit too far forward.
Bold.
Everfrost is going to miss.
We maybe have had a few criticisms about this player, a young rookie player, of course, who has overstepped a little in the mid games occasionally for Bifrost. Saw that a little bit against XL on Monday, where, of course, things like the Zac were very long range and perhaps not what we used to playing in. So credit and perhaps a little bit of benefit the doubt to Highway, but now this mid lane turret in danger. Shikari with the Glacial Prison, and the prison is death. A bailout will not be enough. Soft flashes for a lilting lullaby. It's 4-man, but the turret's gone. Not going to do that much work, and the turnaround is just monstrous. Bifrost continue to run them over. Maybe we took the crown off them too early. These team fights look crisp, all right.
Oh, Shikari right there sees the shot, takes the shot, hits Shredder in the face. 3 members down for MNM, and Bifrost can actually run to get the second Rift Herald of the game. They've opened up every tier 1 on the map, and they're having the sights on these tier 2s. And look at Shikari, he pretends he's taking the ward, and then he's like, surprise! Charges in, gets Shredder with the ultimate, and it's all too little too late. if you also look on the map, Diamondprox prioritized taking down the tower right before the Lilia ultimate hit. So then Bifrost are able to turn this around without that extra tower damage falling onto them. Really good stuff. Love seeing this coordination by Bifrost because we have a lot of question marks in the early season. Highway said, you know what, we have found their style, that's how we're gonna play from now on, and that's exactly what they do. Scaling down bot, scaling mid, early ganks around mid lane to snowball Fury, she carried the rock on the top side. They have found their recipe for success.
Really feels like it. And you know, I feel for Soft in that play as well. He finds a 4-man lilting lullaby under their tier 1 turret in another game where it wasn't this vast gold lead. That could have been it. That could have been the turnaround. Unfortunately, it's not, and it means more gold in Bifrost's pocket. The priority continues to be there. They've got 2 Heralds, 2 Dragons, and about 2 steps away from winning the game, it feels like.
You know what I love a lot about Bifrost? That ward, bush that Highway is in right now, where she carry all the from, they have made it their life's decision to keep it warded at all times.
Real estate speculation.
Keep this warded, having Sejuani around, having Silas around, meaning that you can have those long-term engages, means that whoever is mid lane cannot overpush. They can only stick underneath the tower, which means by the time the wave is there, you would have missed some experience, you would have missed some gold, and it's much more difficult for you to try and catch up, because you're going to need some help. So even if this Jinx steps underneath the tower, they see her alone, she is diveable at this point. So I really love the fact that Bifrost are keeping vision around that specific boost that Audi just went about, and they keep playing around that one, threatening constantly mid lane dives.
Been doing such a good job of it. They're going to summon the second Herald down towards the bot lane, and Odie has some wonderful weapons to shred through this tower. Camera just doesn't really have an answer to be able to clear out this wave or the Herald that comes through. They might even get an inhibitor turret charge here as well. Certainly going to try and escort it in. Shredder over the wall, though.
While this is happening, look at Shikari. He's left the top little wave. He shoved it in. He's going towards mid lane, preps the wave. Renata ultimate is going to go in.
Yeah, but it's only onto a cloning camera. It takes so much damage. Afterwards comes the Moonlight Vigil. Shredded with the chakrams flying downtown will just about survive. But the attempted turnaround engage is punished willingly and readily by Bifrost. They can do no wrong.
That macro was absolutely beautiful. Shikari shoves in the wave in top lane while the Rift Herald is pushing bot. He pings that he's heading towards that mid lane, gets another 2 waves pushed in, gets that mid lane tier 2 as well. Bot lane inhibitor tower fell due to Shelly. That is impeccable macro movement from Bifrost. And yes, you can say whatever you want, they're 11,000 gold ahead, but the fact that they haven't allowed a single inch for their enemies to come back into the game speaks miles about their development from the start of the split to now. So you will see that obviously Chimera and Soft are looking for that engagement together with Shredder's ultimate. The fact that Renata ultimate misses, Odie gets a huge Moonlight Vigil with his sniper, meaning that he can shoot them from super far away. He has a bunch of chakrams stacked onto him as well. Meanwhile, Shikari pushing mid. They've got almost every single outer turret in the game. Only the top side remains. And guess what? In 4 minutes and 40 seconds, there is a third dragon coming out. Mountain Soul on things like Wukong, who's already tanking together with Sejuani, but also Tam Ken's. But then a Silas, who sustains a lot. MNM are behind. They're going to be even further behind.
And don't get me wrong, we asked for a little bit more scaling from MNM. Aragon was really adamant about it, saying, look, I'm not sure about these early game comps. They've drafted for it, and unfortunately, that's meant that the early game has been pretty heavily punished. Not just pretty heavily, it's been monstrously punished. It's been a long time since I've seen... finally, my screen came back. I had a moment there we went all black and cosplaying MNM there briefly.
That happens to my solo queue as well. Don't know why.
That's because you play Katarina.
That's why it was. I was wondering.
Well, we enjoy insulting each other's mains here in the NLC, and for good reason, really, as Calum forced away from even that bush near the blue. Is forced out of that. Just no control anywhere on the map. They've got 1 remaining outer tower that's about to get sieged onto, and I don't know how easy it'll be for MNM to hold on.
Real quickly, before Bifrost starts sieging.
No chance. No chance. Calum gets knocked out of the hook shot and knocked into the dirt.
Question before this team fight finishes. Chat.
Yes.
Do you think Bifrost will get the
God, the question's answered! MNM taken down to about a 3rd HP each as that Infernum Moonlight Vigil burns him all to Christmas Fury. Steals the Ahri Spirit Rush. He's looking for a 1v4 in the enemy base. Gets on a Shredder. Finally gets charmed. Goes golden, survives, but that will allow this inhibitor turret to get siege taken down. Shikari was diving forward with an Arctic Assault, but his hand shook away. Inhibitor turret in mid lane falls, and this has been the story of this mid game. The flow from one objective to another from Bifrost has been silky smooth.
Absolutely, they're gonna take another inhibitor tower and they're gonna go back
TP.
Towards that race at TP is coming back in. Diamondprox though might just spot this. Kalem is going in.
He's gonna try his best, but what can they do to stop it? Diamond might try and turn it around though. Kalem, hook shot, gets stunned on the wall thanks to the passive of Sejuani. Odie is godlike indeed. Over the wall goes Diamond to secure another. A 3v5 remains for MNM. A double already. Make that a one back, but it's just not enough. Mishigu is glue, and Camera alone is the one remaining.
No! Odie ruined the perfect game for Bifrost.
How could he?
MNM have no towers, MNM have no dragons, MNM have no neutral objectives, and they had no kills up until the point where Mishigu flashes to take Odie's life. Bifrost will win this game pretty convincingly. Unfortunately, though, it's not going to be the perfect one initialized.
The Marshmallows freeze in the might of Bifrost this game. A final inhibitor falls. They won't quite look to end it yet. But Nariki fans look on, and there's a sinking feeling in their gut as Bifrost looking to make sure playoffs are going to be theirs today.
And again, Kalem, he's a pretty strong Camille right here, level 12, but he gets instantly stopped dead in his tracks. And again, I have to commend Shikari for the way he has been playing the Sejuani. The engages have been spot on. Him covering for his team have been spot on. Odie, you filthy Inter! Game!
Oh, the rage from Trouble Link, I'm sure, is counted by their team as well. The Super Mega Death Rocket to spot out the Barons going down, and there's nothing at all MNM can do about it.
Thank you, MasterCard.
Thank you, MasterCard. Are we going to go somewhere with that, or is that just...
No, it was just thank you. It's been thankful.
Okay. And Bifrost as well. Very thankful for how this game's gone. It's been a bit of a statement from them. We've had so many questions about their consistency, so many questions about how their team coordination has been. They're shoving in with 3 lanes of minions, they're shoving in with Baron, they're shoving in to prove exactly what they are here to do. Kalem has to back out. Hostile Taker comes through, camera goes forward, but it's a last gasp. A Spirit Rush into the grave as Diamondprox throw down another Cyclone. The bailout will buy some time for stop, but he melts. It's like a dream, and they wake up to the cold, cold reality of Bifrost locking playoffs.
And after cold sweat through the split, up until